is being done by a young lady who has been on the speech scene for the past 2 years. And right now, at this moment, she is the community college champion in Northern California for the after-dinner speech. An after-dinner speech is an informative or persuasive speech, but what makes it different is that it's supposed to be funny. And so, as being known as the funniest woman in Northern California for community college students, please give a round of applause to Emily Akers.
As a little girl, one question I probably heard the most growing up was, "Do you want to play Barbies with me?" My answer was always, no. It's not that I thought that I was above playing with the other snot-covered children. It's just that logically, Barbie did not make sense in my mind, especially when they came out with Astronaut Barbie. Because what I thought was, how the hell are you going to spend years on countless hour training days, then blast yourself up into space while wearing pink pumps, a metallic hot pants spacesuit, and perfectly applied mascara? As I grew up though, I started to realize that Barbie faces a lot of the same issues that women do today. Thanks to the women's movement, society has taken us out of the kitchen because that's where the knives are. And you know we'll cut you. And we've made a name for ourselves in the work world. However, the pressure to do it all has left me on most mornings filling my kitchen sink up with coffee, dunking my head in, and just sucking. On some special mornings, I like to throw a few shots of vodka in there. Like this morning. In her 2013 book, Wonder Woman, Sex, Power, and the Quest for Perfection, Deborah Spar explains that the idea of feminism has somehow evolved into the superwoman myth, where you do it all, and you have it all, in a manner so flawless and sexy that Beyoncé herself would have nodded her head and whispered, "Fierce." And being a superwoman is a standard that a majority of women today are desperately trying to meet. So in the next few minutes, we'll slip into our stilettos in order to reveal the causes behind the superwoman myth. Next, we'll strut into our corner office in order to examine its effects, before finally making it to our son's soccer game on time in order to yell at the ref for some solutions. But first, the causes. Who's responsible for the superwoman myth? The Illuminati. Yeah, wake up, America. I'm just kidding, but for real. From the late 1950s all the way to present day, feminism has filtered through the media, resulting in the superwoman myth. In an article for CNN on June 25th, 2012, fellow feminist Stephanie Coontz explains that it's important to realize that the women's movement never told anybody that they could have it all. That wasn't the concept of feminist activists, but rather the brainchild of advertising executives. And as much as I wanted my life to be more like a TV show, Mad Men was never really my first choice. I was really hoping more for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I would be a bone splinter. Some of you are starting to take the knife joke a little more seriously, huh? In a 2012 forum discussion titled Post-Feminism, the Market and the Media, Dr. Cynthia Carter explains that in most cases, the media has exploited the image of the liberated woman in order to sell. Advertisements, as well as television and movies, have constantly adapted the image of a successful woman to someone with briefcase and baby in hand, who has enough time to compete in organic cupcake baking competitions and is clearly jacked up on Botox. The result is a misinterpretation of feminism, which turns women's focus inwards on their own path towards perfection. And as the media was busy building superwoman expectations, gender roles did not undergo the necessary shift in order to support women who were breadwinners with a family. The LA Times on October 8, 2013 explains that some of the same old gender roles are still in effect, citing a study which found that in dual-income families, women logged more than twice as many hours on household and caregiving tasks than men did. So, because I have the boobs, I have to watch the kids and wash the dishes, right? Well, that is just the 1950s of you. Vintage. So adorable. Now that we know the causes behind the superwoman myth, we can now examine some of its effects. Do you have them? You didn't bring the effects? Oh no, don't get up, honey. I'll get those too. The high expectations set on women have left a majority of them feeling absolutely inadequate. The Chronicle Review on September 6, 2013 explains that women are repeatedly berating themselves for not living up to the superwoman expectation. Furthermore, the media and women at large experience a sudden outburst of crap talking anytime a high-profile woman hits a snag. My favorite example being my girl, Hillary Clinton. Now, Hillary Clinton, besides being my spirit animal, is one of the most successful and influential women of our time. She's held a variety of different political positions and is actually cited to be a qualified choice for president by both Democrats and some Republicans, which is like one of the only things some of them can agree on. However, we often only hear things like, "Oh my God, guys, did you see Hillary Clinton's pantsuit?" And "Why is Hillary Clinton basically like a man?" And perhaps the most popular, Hillary's hair, ew. Hillary herself has voiced to multiple news pieces that it's really stupid to be talking about a female politician's hair when they're busy doing, I don't know, maybe like actual important stuff. And high-profile women aren't the only ones struggling with this. The pressure to be perfect affects women on all levels of the professional world. In November of 2012, Forbes cited a study of 4,000 college-educated professionals and 200 senior executives, where a majority agreed that women in the workplace are still heavily judged by physical attractiveness, slimness, youthful appearance, and expensive clothing. Which is cool though, because I have all those. Besides inadequate feelings, women trying to uphold a career and take primary responsibility for childcare are starting to create diminishing returns for all working women. The previously cited Chronicle Review states that women are being affected in their professional lives by a variety of household and caregiving issues. For example, showing up to work without sleep because you had to check under the bed for the boogeyman 102 times last night. Leading them to settle for lower-paying, part-time jobs, like being a Hooters girl. Hooters. The food sucks, but bright orange camel toe. Or dropping out of work altogether. The LA Times on October 8, 2012 explains that without women in these power positions pushing for change, employers have no incentive to alter workplace practices on being more woman or family friendly. And this isn't sending a hopeful message to the next generation of female high achievers. Now that we understand the causes and the effects behind the superwoman myth, we can now take off our bras and set them on fire to illuminate the solutions. Bras are restrictive. To debunk the superwoman myth, we need to take a throwback to what feminism truly intended. Feminism was meant to free women from unreasonable social standards, but instead, we've placed new ones on ourselves in the struggle to be perfect. We all know that no one is perfect, and life isn't a fairy tale. So if you lose one of your shoes at midnight, you should probably lay off the tequila, and the Jello shots, and the Jaeger bombs. That's not just me, right? Spar's previously cited book explains that we should take our focus off of our own path towards perfection and turn our attention towards supporting the few brave women running for office, or pushing in the fight for more equal pay and family-friendly workplaces. But until we obtain these things, gender roles need to continue evolving to meet the needs of working families. CNN on April 9, 2013 states that in order to achieve greater equity, men will need to reallocate some more time towards household and caregiving tasks so that women can have more time for economic advancement. Men just need to realize that no one is going to look down on them for pitching in on more housewife work. I mean, I honestly think it's damn sexy when a man does the dishes. And only an apron. If we can do these things, maybe one day being a superwoman will seem like less of a myth, but more of something we can actually obtain. Like weed. Hashtag blaze it. In the last 2 minutes, we examined the causes, effects, and some solutions to this crazy superwoman myth. You know, looking back on it, maybe I was a little harsh on Barbie. You know, I should have supported her for being a female astronaut in the first place. Although I'm still skeptical on whether or not you can go into space with stilettos on. I do know one thing for sure though. Mattel should have made a Hillary Clinton Barbie. I definitely would have played with her.